How y'all doing? Trust everybody's doing great. How is everything going? How is your New Year resolutions going so far? Trust is all going great. Yeah, today's video is not your regular kind of video. This video is coming from a humble, deep seated worship session, kind of like those leave me at the altar moment with my father kind of video, coming from the place of intercession, like coming from the place of, I don't know how to put it, but let's just in simple words, today's video could be a bit spiritual for you to handle, that not everybody will totally relate, and I understand that. Yeah, ignore my eyes. Yes, after a very long worship session, deep, deep, deep one-on-one time with God, I had this revelation or this rhema, sort of like a burden to intercede for the firsts of every family, be it the firstborns, be it the cycle breakers, the jinx breakers, be it the first to attempt anything, especially anything positive, be it blazing a trail, sort of like pathfinders. So those that are not firstborn shouldn't just skip the video and like, okay, oh well, at least we are not needed here, they are not talking about us. No, some people could be the last or the middle child, and in them lies the capability to break a cycle, to correct an ill, to make a positive impact that would affect the generations positively. Some, regardless of their position in the family, might be saddled with that divine mandate and assignment to chart a positive course and turn things around for the better. And I tell you, it's not, that calling is not for the faint-hearted. For some, it comes explicitly to the firstborns of that particular family. As long as they are the first that came through that lineage, most times it lies in them. Posterity, nature, God puts it in them to be the ones to bring about a positive change, to correct something, to break a cycle, and I tell you, these things is not something you even kind of choose or say, okay, it's gonna be me or it's not me. Most people that it lies on them don't even really know, or might be oblivious of it, and maybe be wondering why maybe some things are happening the way they are happening, or they might face a lot of setbacks, hardships, ill lucks. It's like whenever it comes to them, it's the center cannot just hold, a lot of things are going wrong, and most people, they don't even choose, they are actually chosen to do that, to bring that positive change. And the truth is it gonna be a walk in the park? No way. It's never easy. That's why sometimes when you see the firsts be it the first jinx breaker, cycle breaker, pathfinders, firstborns, who have this enormous responsibility. You notice them wavering, maybe in their finances and their marriages, and still trying to find the essence of their being. Like, it's a lot of struggle trying to even understand like what is happening. Like, it's a case of those people you could mistake for the never do wells, let me put it that way. You know, when you look at them, you if you're not careful, you just conclude that this person, forget it, this person is a write-off. Just, you write off the person, and you just feel this person's life lacks direction or purpose. Like, I can't deal, you know. Or sometimes you just don't get it, you know. Like, these people, maybe they have the wherewithal, they have the talent to, you know, rule their word, you know, braze the trail, break the jinx, but yet it's like something is really, really aching them. It's always like maybe one huddle to another, one stronghold to another, and you keep wondering, you're like, what's really going on with these people? Disclaimer here, I'm not trying to say that maybe if you're trying to achieve something and if it's not working out, maybe because it's not yet time for that thing to come to fruition, you now say, okay, maybe it's all happening because I'm a cycle breaker, I'm a jinx breaker. No, it's not even something like this. Is so deep and so spiritual that it's not even something you embody. It's not even something you pretend that you have or who you are, or it's just, I don't know, it comes, that realization, that awareness comes when you become very, very close with your Creator. When you become very close to God, that way He reveals the essence of your being. For you to come to that awareness of who you are, or the role or the life of purpose God has asked you to come and fulfill here in life, it will not come when you are being busy, caught up in the crowd, mixing up with the wrong people, you know. It will only come from a place of severe hunger for change, for growth, for good positioning. It can only come from a place of intercession. It will come from a place of intense worship with God. And in those times, the prayer you pray or the things you desire matters. Like, if you ask God to reveal the purpose of your being, or to get more insight on why maybe areas of your life, maybe the things you prioritize are being attacked more, despite you trying to do all the best you could, you know, when you get into that place of, you know, God, I want to sort this thing, what is really going on, you know what I mean? It's in those kind of situations that one way or another, somehow you would begin to uncover and know the true essence of your calling, of your being, and how you could work to achieve that high responsibility or calling God has given you, you know. I wouldn't want us to mistake this as maybe when you find yourself being the one that is most fortunate, maybe financially, you're the one catering, helping a lot. That is just a little aspect of it. Now we are talking about like a spiritual point of view, a more deeper point of view. Like, some people are custodians. Like, I don't know how to put it. Like, when they come to a family, there are people that hardly can anything happen without them knowing. Remember, I said this is not for the faint-hearted. This is not one of those motivational speeches. This is not one of those sessions I'll make you motivate you to achieve your goals or to talk to you about mental health. I told you how this came about. It came from a place of intense worship, deep groanings, weeping, trying to like understand some aspects of life that seem or is looking bleak, like you need some clarity in some things, and then over time more clarity begins to come in. So if you happen to find yourself or be among this set of people I'm talking about, I'm here to encourage you to know that it wasn't your fault. You didn't beg to be chosen, but posterity, nature, God chose you to be that cycle breaker, to be that pathfinder, to be that jinx breaker, to be that person who would bring about a positive positioning spiritually that will affect a lot of things physically. You need to know that over time, trying to complain, shift blames, look for who to blame and all those stuff, while it can offer you some sort of respite, but there will still be that void, that feeling of void. There will always be that feeling of inadequacy unless you do what? Connect to your source. Ask God to help you. It will come from a place of, if you're the fasting type, fast. If you're the worship type, lock yourself up in the room, cry, yell, wail, ask God to reveal or shed more light or give you some clarity regarding some or this particular areas of your life. And I tell you, it's not gonna be easy, but remember, he said he will willingly give to those who ask. As long as you're still trying to figure it out yourself, trying to, trust in your own wisdom, trust in your own strength, you're everly gonna get what? You're everly gonna get disappointed, because the destiny you have is not a destiny you choose for yourself. That destiny, God has seen that you are that torchbearer, you are that person he could count on, and he has chosen you for that particular task. And how would you know how to chart that course without getting the compass, without getting the direction? Okay, so the more you try to understand, the more some people even fight it. Some people even, I'm not talking about those that are called, like, I mean, if you're called to serve God, to be a mouthpiece of God, that one too is different. Now I'm talking about in families. Remember, I'm still saying this is a disclaimer. This is not your regular kind of video. This is quite deeper, and I pray that God will grant whoever that is listening or whoever that passes this video to understand how deep and where I'm coming from, and where I am going with this video in particular. So knowing that the destiny you chose, that you have, is not something you chose, it was given to you for whatever reason. God has that trust in you. God knows that you are the only one who could do this assignment. So you need him. You need him. You need him. Most times, if you notice, a lot of things you try to do, it doesn't really, the center doesn't hold. The people you kind of like put your whole trust in, it doesn't still work out at the end of the day, you know that you feel that void, and you begin to notice that nothing else will ever satisfy other than God. And then when you come to that place, that is when he will begin to unveil and uncover and open your eyes to the assignment that is ahead of you. Okay, so hang in there. Don't always forget to connect to your source. Don't always forget to ask God for grace at every point in time. It's not easy. You see all the chides of destinies, you see all the jinx breakers, you see all the cycle breakers, you see all the torch bearers, you see all the pathfinders and families. Most times their life even never looks like it. You know, when you hear that someone is gonna blaze a trail or save the world or save a family, or you know, be used for a worthy cause, most times we look at outwardly. Maybe does their life look like that of a leader? Is their life reeking of confidence or whatever? No, God most times doesn't always call those that look it or those that are qualified. He tries to use those who have been tried, tested, gone through life's vicissitude, trials, fires, because that is where, when they go through these things, the lessons they learn from it, that is how they are able to help others. That is how they are able to grow and be that beacon of light and blaze that trail for others, or break whatever foundational or ancestral or whatever limitation there is. Okay, so even though your life might not look like it, if you've noticed to be that person, say before something happens anywhere, regardless of the where your family is, or how distance separates you guys, there is always that spiritual awareness and consciousness. Like you have that burden. You're always the one that gets an insight to say, you know, gather the family, pray together, do all those. You are the one that always has that nudgings, and everything is for a purpose, I tell you. So would the enemy try to attack it? Yes, obviously the enemy will try to come into your life, especially the areas that you feel you have worked so hard to build, or the areas of interest. He will try to attack those things. He will try to attack your joy, because he knows that in those ways, or doing those things, that's how you lose focus. You know what I mean? And he's not going to come for the things that you are least interested in. He will come to things that matter so much, so that you keep your attention trying to fix that. And that way he keeps you busy from focusing on what is ahead of you and the destiny that is ahead of you. Okay, so hang in there, and always remember to go back to God as your source. You are not allowed to mix up with the crowd. You are not allowed to do some certain things. And also, this is also a wake-up call to us parents. If you're blessed enough to be a parent that is quite intuitive, that has that gift of foresight and vision, like God reveals things to you, and you notice that, say, one of the child God has blessed you with is also that same, has also that kind of destiny. It's also a wake-up call for you to begin to uphold all the children you have, especially that one that God has set as a jinx breaker, as a cycle breaker, as a destiny child. You see that particular one, it's time for you to always boost that child and uphold that child in prayer. Because would the enemy try to make their life look like hell? Pardon my language, but would the enemy want to make it unbearable for them? Obviously he will. Will everything go straight through for them, and you know, they are like, wow, everything? No, the enemy will want to distract that destiny. But if you as a parent have noticed that, always uphold that child in prayer. And when that child comes up to age, begin to tell them about it. Begin to make them like inculcate that consciousness in them, to know that you as a child of destiny, you are not permitted to do some things, be some kind of places, say some kind of things. It's hard, it's a responsibility. So the sensitization and awareness starts with you, the parent, who is spiritually conscious and have noticed that, to begin to groom that child, so that that child becomes aware of the fiery darts of the enemy, becomes aware of whatever it is the enemy will want to throw their way. Okay, you have that responsibility to guide them, not neglecting other children you have, no. But like I say, this is very, very deep, and I pray that the way God has laid the burden in my heart to say this, I hope and I pray that I did justice to it, and I pray that God would finish up the work, like in the hearts of those that this is meant for. Okay, thank you so much for listening. Have a good day, and I pray that this year will be the most productive year yet you've ever had, in every ramifications of your life. Okay, when I say productive, not just money. I keep telling you guys, everything is not money. Okay, there are so many other things too that matters in life. Yes, money answereth to all things, but still, when we say productive, is everything. We're not always talking about, most people have that money but they don't have that spiritual they don't have that spiritual calmness, they don't have that spiritual satisfaction. You know, something is, there's still a void somewhere, and I tell you, that void can only come when you've made peace with your maker, when you have sought to know the true essence of your being, when you begin to live a life of purpose. That is where the true productivity, wealth, and riches comes. Okay, have a good one, and ciao. Thank you. God bless you.